Hello, Recti video. Today we're gonna take a look at the team with the highest defense stat in Pokemon Go for the Great League if you exclude Shuckle, because I'm not going to build a Shuckle. We'll never build a Shuckle for like, it hits like 600 CP or something, is the highest defense stat in the game though. Still will be very squishy because it's basically 0 HP. It's not like the main series games, but it's actually like really bulky because you can, like the IVs, basically what you have here with like 15 IVs, you have like 252 points that you can give to like a Pokemon that actually changes a little bit more than it does in Go Battle League. So like Shuckle itself is very squishy and not really good for this meta here. So we're going to take the basically number 2 to 4 spot here, which is going to be the Bastion, which you most likely expected, the Deoxys Defense, which you also most likely expected, but also know the Toxapex is in here. Toxapex is a new candidate as well, which is a very bulky, of course, is a very cool Pokemon to use right now, and this Pokemon is actually not really that commonly used, even though it is really bulky. It has Poison Jab, it's a good poison type. It's kind of underrated, to be fair. It's a Pokemon that you never really want to face because of the just the pure bulk of it. It's kind of crazy, but here we're going to take a look at this team. I thought of a different option as well for this team, where I went for Deoxys as a safe swap and the Bastion in the lead. I've tried it for like 2 games, didn't work out at all. Kind of felt like that I got too weak to Registeel with that, so I went now for the safe swap of the Toxapex here, which is not ideal either because like you can get locked into any ground type especially, but you're still going to do some damage against steel types as well with the water type move there, which is going to be fine. So like it was an okay-ish pick. I would have liked something else there if I would have built a normal team, but still this team worked out really well. Like I cannot say anything against this team. I went, I think, on a 7-game win streak with it. I only played like I think 12 games with it in total though, so I could have been even higher. Like I could have even gained more either with this team. But yeah, pure bulk helps out a ton if you get to 1500 CP and if you still have pretty decent attacks, because here you have like Bastion, which you know already is a very strong before. You have the Deoxys Defense, which has the Psycho Boost, which is a Leaf Blade clone, which is one of the strongest moves, but still going to give you the attack drop, which is not the case with Leaf Blade. But here you're still going to have a strong finishing move that has low for energy plus counter, which does a ton of damage. So very strong move there. We see a Nidoqueen here, which is actually something I don't want to see with this team, and interesting to see it at all because I haven't seen a Nidoqueen for ages. It's kind of went missing now after Poison Fang got nerfed, which I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it got nerfed in the wrong way. I wish it would have stayed at 35 energy, but gave you like a percentage chance to debuff the opponent like 40%, because that's also how it is in the main series games. It's just the guaranteed debuff there is a little bit too strong maybe. I actually don't even think that the Nidoqueen nerf was completely necessary there either, but I'm actually okay with it. I feel like the meta is a little bit better than before now, even though it's a little bit, it's kind of RPS right now as well. Like I saw a lot of people complaining about being RPS, it kind of is. But you actually have also a lot of options to like move around with it. If you just play the top tier meta the entire time, like the top 3 meta Pokemon, then it is RPS. But if you play a little bit around, for example, Deoxys is actually a Pokemon I would highly recommend you to take a look at. If you have a Deoxys Defense laying around, a Pokemon that's currently really cool because you have options to beat basically all of the 3 top meta Pokemon currently. So like it has so much potential as Pokemon, definitely something you should take a look at. Here we see the Azumarill going for an Ice Beam. Fine for me. I can go back into my Toxapex here. I can go for 1 Sludge Wave, going to be able to knock them out with 1 more fast move. This is going to be a good game here as well. Next opponent, we will see Deoxys against Lantern. This is something that I don't want to face with the backline, so I'm fine having this here in the lead. I don't really care if I have to give up shields. You see my backline anyway, like they don't really care too much about shielding moves anyway. They are so bulky. This is a cool thing about this team as well. Like you really don't have to shield like those standard moves like Thunderbolt or Surf or anything like this. It doesn't really help them either. So here we will be able to knock out the Lantern, which is going to be huge for the team in general because we're double weak to it. We can go to our Toxapex, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done because now they can align their Pokemon better. I have to shield up the move, going to be the Ice Punch, and they're actually staying in, which is amazing for me, allowing me to go for 1 Sludge Wave here. Let's see if this hits. It doesn't hit, so we're going to have to shield another move most likely here. But this should be at least okay. It's going to be a Psychic this time around at least, which we can retaliate here again with 1 Sludge Wave. And at this point of time, our Switch Clock is up. We can swap into our Deoxys as well, as we face a Noctowl coming in. This allows us to still keep our Toxapex alive. We can still easily handle a Psychic on the Toxapex as well at this HP range. Psychic does around 50% I think, and we're like a little bit over that, so very easy to deal with that. Now we can go into our Bastion, and we don't really care too much about this Noctowl here anymore. They can go for one Shadow Ball, but this doesn't really hurt me too much, and even now, yeah, they're going to forfeit anyway. The Medicham was all low enough anyway, so good game there. This might be the team that I don't want to face. This might be the team that is going to have Stunfest. Yeah, I knew it. This might be the loss that we got. But like again, the games are randomized. Like I don't know which one comes up when. But this is most likely the Legend team from Paula, which I also showcased on my channel already. Very strong team here, most likely going to have Gliscor on the back. That's the lost, at least what I expect here. So Gliscor on the back would be a little bit tricky. We can go for some Psycho Boost here at least, going to be able to get them low. I have to let this move go through, there's nothing else that I can do, and they're going to actually knock me out there. I'm going to get energy here on my Bastion, because I kind of want to keep that for the potential Gliscor on the back, and we do see the Gliscor on the back. Very, very sad. Like, this is kind of a hard wall team for us. There's not a lot that we can do about this. Brian coming through, we're gonna get the shield at least, and I'm going to have to hope that they're going to bait me here, which they don't. Okay, we at least can go for another Brian here. This will allow me to get the final shield most likely, and yeah, we will be able to get the final shield. We can go for more moves here as well. But this looks kind of tough. Earthquake coming through again. I can farm up extra. I can go for the Stone Edge here immediately. I want to get rid of this thing. But now we still have a Tapu Fini, I think, which has nearly full health against that Bastion, which gets super effective hits from the Surf as well as the Water Gun. So it's going to be a tough one to still win. We see the next Surf coming through here as well. Surf going to put us pretty low, and best had to get to another one. Stone Edge wouldn't have KO'd anyway from this range. Still would have done enough, like a lot of damage, but kind of unfortunate, kind of difficult to deal with. Very good catch as well from the opponent there, but it didn't really matter because Galarian Stunfisk, if you don't get it aligned on the perfect Pokemon, it's a lot of trouble here for this team to deal with. But still, I mean, I went on a 7-game win streak with it. I cannot really complain too much about it. We see here the Ice Beam coming through from the Azumarill. That's amazing. We see a Sableye coming in. We should have swapped out earlier. But Sableye basically gets walled by the Bastion because every single neutral matchup I feel like Bastion wins. As this is, they don't have counter, they don't have a super effective move. They all have neutral moves here, but Bastion doesn't really care. We can go for one Stone Edge, gonna get them low, and we can farm them down at this point of time. They can go for another charge move. I don't care. I just get the energy here, and we will be able to go ahead and go for one more Stone Edge here against the opponent's Azumarill. This will do enough damage to put them into range where we can easily farm them down anyway with our Toxapex here. Toxapex will be able to take any move of it. Like, everything is resisted from Azumarill, every fast move, every charge move on Toxapex. This is the hardest counter. Well, we can now go ahead and go for our Thunderbolt against the Medicham here, and we can just let this move go through. I think we actually survive it if it's an Ice Punch, and we do. We can go for the Psycho Boost, and we will be able to get around like half of their health already here, getting them into range for one Sludge Wave. Even if they catch, there's no lot that they can do about this here anymore. We will be able to shield up the Psychic, and they're going to not be able to catch, so this is going to knock out the Medicham most likely. Yes, and we see the Azumarill, which does not have the greatest time against us either, so we will be able to knock them out as well while they throw the Hydro Pump. You see how little damage it does. We have just so much bulk on this team, it's insane. The most I saw in the title how much bulk we actually have here in terms of defense stat. It's really wild. We see the Bastion against us here, which is really cool for us because we will be able to go ahead and farm them down. This is a very good matchup for us. This is where we want to see it. We can go for one Thunderbolt here as well. And they actually swap into the Medicham. That's even better for us. Thanks for the opponent there. They're just like playing for us here right now. We can go for one Psycho Boost, trying to get the shield from the opponent as well. But we're gonna get them low. Can go into our Toxapex. We can, I think, just shield and farm them down at this point of time. Brian still does a ton of damage against the opponent's Bastion, so we should be fine here. And they actually still get to another move here, which is going to be the Ice Punch. So we are fine here. We see the Bastion coming in. They have no chance here really of winning this matchup either. So we're going to see actually the Trevenant swapping in from them, which doesn't make any sense at all why they did this. But I take this. It's going to be a Seed Bomb as well. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do here right now, but this does not help them in the slightest, as we will be able to go ahead and go for the what's called for the Sludge Wave. Actually, this is the team that I made like in the beginning of the season where I had a crazy streak with. That's kind of funny. So like, yeah, that's Bastion, Medicham plus Trevenant, a team that I built as well and popularized. So kind of funny. Maybe it's a viewer. If you're a viewer, say hello in the comment section. I read actually every comment, but I don't always reply to them as well, which is, yeah, time-wise, it takes a lot of time. We'll see here the Umbreon against us, which is actually a Pokemon that I don't want to face. Umbreon is a little bit tricky to deal with, and Toxapex against us is also a little bit tricky to deal with. We can go for one Sludge Wave here. I kind of want to swap out while we still have some energy. I should just swap out after this one here, right? They're going to go for one Charge Move. We're going to be the Sludge Wave as well. We survive it. Yeah, we swap out into our Bastion, and now we can just farm them all the way. We're just going to get all the energy against the opponent here, trying to see what comes in afterwards. We get already to a Charge Move here. They can go for all the brains they want. I don't care how many brains they want to throw at me. We're still at half of our health. We have a very similar team so far. That's wild. Like we see here the opponent's Deoxys coming in. We will be able to go for one Stone Edge here as well, which is going to do a ton of damage against them, as we will be able to go into our own Deoxys now and farm them all the way down, I guess. Or do I throw a Charge Move here? I'm not sure. We see the Thunderbolt coming through, doing some nice damage here. I'm going to throw my own Thunderbolt as well, because I just want to get rid of them before they can do more damage against me. But they're actually going to shield this move up, so I'm going to have to shield the move up as well. Going to be their Thunderbolt. We see the Umbreon coming in here, and I feel like I misplayed this a little bit. But yeah, my opponent actually basically has also one of the highest defense teams. Umbreon sadly is very, yeah, what should I say? Neutral. Like they have, I think it has actually the exact same defense stat as HP stat, which is actually very, very good, by the way. Like you kind of want to have this as a Pokemon. If you have a high defense stat, you like moves don't do as much damage against you. But if you have a low HP stat, they're still going to do a lot of damage with the fast moves, which is going to be annoying. And here they just win with 1 HP, which was kind of wild. So like having a mix like Umbreon is basically the perfect thing that you want to see. We see here Deoxys against us in the lead. That's not the perfect thing that I want to see, at least. And here's one reason why I should build a better Deoxys soon. I don't have a good one yet, but maybe I get one during the Hoenn tour. That would definitely make some kind of sense there, because we're going to get them available in the raids. But mine currently is the worst possible spread, I think, for the Great League. I had some people asking me why I did this. Back in the day, when PvP started, Deoxys was already one of the strongest Pokemon then. And I just only had one left because I wasn't really someone who raided a lot, because I didn't put money into the game at all. Now I put money into the game because I'm a creator and it helps me a lot creating content for the game. But back in the day, I was completely free to play, so I had like, I think 2 or 3 raids or something I did for Deoxys defense. I'm living in a small town. Getting people for that together is nearly impossible. So I threw away basically the lowest CP versions, only kept one because you couldn't trade them anyway, and I was like, okay, it's going to be a Dex entry. But I didn't know that it was so good for the Great League in general that I just had to build basically the only one that I had, which was the 15-10-10, which is very, very bad, but still a very cool Pokemon to use. Still, the difference is not really that huge, so like I would definitely prefer a better one, but I'm still fine with my current one. We see a Noctowl against us though again, which doesn't really have the greatest chance against Toxapex either. They can go for the Sky Attack here, which doesn't really do too much damage either, as we can go for our charge move. Sludge Wave coming through, going to go and put them into a range where I can maybe even farm them all the way down here. Sky Attack comes through again, would do the most damage, so I'm going to go ahead and shield up. I can go for the Brine, and this will knock out the opponent, as we see the opponent coming back into the Umbreon here, which doesn't do as much damage with their charge moves compared to the Noctowl, so we should be fine here. We will be able to farm them all the way down. This is going to be a good game. Actually interesting how good this team works as well, but yeah. We see here the next opponent having the Abomasnow against us. We can go ahead and go for our matchup against the Medicham here. Can go for one Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt coming through, gonna get the shield, which is amazing, as we can go ahead and hopefully go for some Psycho Boost as well soon. They're gonna go for the Ice Punch here. I'm happy about the Medicham here just because I don't have to face it then with my Bastion, which of course hates to face this Pokemon. We have now 2 Psycho Boosts stored. First one coming through here, going to do a ton of damage, and we can go for another one afterwards. I think I still survive a move here. Let's see, Ice Punch coming through, we still easily survive that. Go for another Psycho Boost here. Let's see if they're going to shield this move up. They do not, and we're gonna put them into range where I'm not going to be able to realign, but I still can farm them down here. I have a shield advantage, which is already very, very good for me. And we see the Abomasnow coming back in here, which doesn't make any sense at all for them, because we do super effective damage with our fast moves. We have Sludge Wave, which knocks them out, and they don't really have a good matchup here in general, so we can go for one Brine, try to knock them out already, and we will be able to do this as we see a Sableye coming in, and they can basically forfeit already at this point of time. I'm going to swap out into my Bastion, and we see the forfeit coming through. Good game there. Next game coming up, we're going to see a Medicham against us. Very good lead for us. Mayhem lead is very common right now though, as we see the Stunfists coming in, which is horrible for us. So here you have at least a worse matchup again. We're gonna go for Thunderbolt just to so we don't waste energy. It does a little bit more damage than one counter, which is kind of wild, but it's like double resisted. And we're going to have to go for some charge moves here as well now. We have to try to get them to that we can farm them down. They're going to throw a charge move here, fine for me. I'm going to shield up the next move as well. Going to be in the rock side here. I can go ahead and go for the full farm down, I thought, but no, I should have thrown the charge move instead. And here better IVs would have helped me as well. We see the Mayhem coming in again, which is good for us as they're going to are aligned against our Toxapex here, but it still doesn't look too good. We just have to go for Brian at this point anyway, because it doesn't really matter what else we can do here. Brian is the only thing that we can go for. They have their own Bastion in the back, which basically seals the deal already. I can kind of forfeit here, but I'm still going to try to play it out a little bit. We can go into our own Bastion then, as we face up against their Flamethrower here. Yeah, there's not a lot that I can do here anymore, but yeah, that's going to be it basically for the video as well. If you enjoyed the highest defense team in Pokemon Go, excluding Shuckle, then let me know in the comment section what you want to see next and leave a like on the video. We could also do it again for HP, but there's nothing changed. I did this already like around 6 months ago. If you want to see the HP version of this team as well again, we can do it for stat product. It's basically the same as HP, I think, because like Chansey and Wobbuffet and Blissey have, I think, all the highest stat products as well, as far as I know. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky there for a stat product. Otherwise, you could go for highest attack again. If you want to see the highest attack team, I could also do that for you. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.